Hello and welcome. Today we're going to tackle a problem that every single one of us faces: digital clutter. We're diving into the brand new Configurable InBasket from Aras Innovator. And this is a feature that's really designed to turn your task list from a source of stress into a powerhouse of productivity. So let's get right to it. I want you to just think about your current to-do list for a second, your inbox right now. How much of your day do you spend just digging through it, looking for that one thing you're supposed to be working on? Yeah. If you're like most people, it feels less like a helpful guide and more like just a constant stream of digital noise. It's a huge frustration, but what if there was a better way? Okay, so what we're looking at here is a really fundamental shift in thinking. Over on the left, that's the old way, right? A rigid, cluttered, one-size-fits-all inbox. Honestly, it's a relic. But on the right, you've got the new InBasket. It's dynamic, it's organized, and it's personalized just for you. Believe me, this is not just an update, it's a complete rethink of how you interact with your work. Now, to really appreciate the solution, we've got to understand the problem. So let's call it the inbox bottleneck. That exact point where your tools stop helping and actually start getting in the way. Here's the core issue. Traditional inboxes, they're just a chronological list, a dumb stream of info. The system doesn't care if a task is urgent, who it's for, or what project it belongs to. And that forces you, the user, to do all the heavy lifting, all the sifting and sorting and searching. The simple act of just finding your work becomes a tedious task all on its own. But all right, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. Aras has completely reimagined this whole experience with a smarter, searchable inbox that's designed to do that heavy lifting for you.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, the Configurable InBasket is basically a central hub for all of your tasks. But the magic is really in those three words. Searchable, which means you can find anything instantly. Customizable, meaning you can make it look and feel the way you want. And extensible, which is a huge one. It means your admins can build it out to fit your team's unique needs.
This upgrade, it brings new powers to literally everyone. For you, the user, that means full search, saved searches, personalized views. And for the administrators, it means they can add totally new task types and new columns of information. So let's break down what this actually means, starting with the user experience. Okay, so let's dig into what every single user gets right out of the box. These are the day-to-day changes that are going to immediately make your workflow so much smoother and faster. This right here is the game changer. Your InBasket now works like any modern data grid you've ever used. You can do simple searches, apply really complex filters, even use advanced search operators to find exactly what you're looking for. No more endless scrolling, you just type, search, and get to work. This also solves a super common team problem. Who is working on what? The new claim system is so simple. If a task is available, you can claim it. That locks it so nobody else can work on it at the same time. This totally prevents duplicate effort and makes it crystal clear who owns each assignment. It's a small feature, but it has a huge impact on team coordination. And when it's time to actually do the work, the process is streamlined into 3 super clear steps. You select your task from the InBasket, you make your decision, that's the vote, and you provide any required password or e-signature. Then you just hit complete, and the workflow moves on. It's clean, it's direct, and it keeps projects moving forward. Okay, now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. We've seen what you can do as a user, but the real power here comes from how administrators can tailor the InBasket for the entire organization. This is where that word extensible really comes to life. Your InBasket is no longer limited to just standard workflow assignments. Not at all. Administrators can create and add completely new categories of tasks that are specific to how your company actually operates. So this is the old world, right? A simple list, and it only shows one kind of item, the standard workflow task. I mean, it's functional, but it doesn't really capture the full picture of everything your team is juggling. And here's the difference. See that? That new meeting task right at the top? An administrator created that. So now, right alongside your engineering change orders, you can manage tasks for meeting prep, for reviews, for anything else your team needs, and it's all in one central place. Oh yeah, the customization goes even deeper. It's not just about adding new types of tasks, it's also about adding new types of information. If there's a piece of data your team absolutely needs to see for a specific task, you can now add a column just for it. So here's our custom meeting task again. It's great that it's in the InBasket, for sure, but we're missing some key context, like what is this meeting even about? Right now, we'd have to open the task to find out. And there it is. Look at that. The administrator added a custom agenda column. Now, with just a single glance, you know exactly what that meeting task is for. This is the power of a truly configurable system. You decide what information is important, and you put it front and center. So, we've seen all the features, from searching and claiming to adding new task types and columns. But let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger picture here. Why does all of this personalization actually matter? This quote, it really gets to the heart of it. For way too long, we've all had to learn the weird quirks and limitations of our tools. This represents a fundamental shift. The goal is to create software that bends and shapes itself to your workflow, not the other way around. It's all about shifting that mental load from you back to the system. So, what does this all add up to? It adds up to one unified, intelligent, and configurable place for all your work. It doesn't matter if it's a formal engineering workflow, a meeting reminder, or a custom task that's unique to your company, it all lives here. This reduces confusion, it minimizes context switching, and it lets everyone focus on what they do best. And that's really the question I want to leave you with. Just imagine your tools weren't an obstacle you had to overcome, but a perfectly tailored extension of your team's process. What new levels of efficiency, collaboration, and innovation could you unlock? That's the potential of a truly configurable workflow. Thanks for tuning in.